uninterrupted sleep. When the sleep passes from non-REM, REM, non-REM cycles. If you have 7 to 9 hours of sleep at daytimes, or if you wakes up in the night and then again go to sleep, it becomes fragmented. This kind of benefits may not occur. So consolidated, uninterrupted sleep is essential to have this kind of health benefit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sunil Sable. You have rightly pointed out that sleep is essential for human life. It impacts on our physical appearances, on our mental wellness. It contributes for repairing the damaging cell, and also detoxic our body, and cell production increases, digestive process, and also for burning fat, as well as to reshuffle your body, to consolidate your memory. So from every aspect, sleep is very essential for human health. So could you please explain what sort of health hazard could be occurred in absence of adequate sleep?
So absolutely. So during our daytimes, it's like a mobile. During daytime, your mobile get discharged, so you have to recharge it. Otherwise, it won't have any use. So similarly, during daytime, your body's discharge. It is depleted in energy. If you want to restore that energy, then you have to have a sleep. So nowadays, in a research, it's found that the amount of sleep, the duration of sleep is progressively decreasing. We are sleeping 2 hours less than our ancestors. And this is called as sleep debt. So it's very dangerous. So sleep debt is amount of sleep we should get minus amount of sleep we actually get. So actually in the research, it's found that we are getting 2 to 3 hours less sleep as compared to our ancestors. And this sleep debt, we know the debt what itself is very dangerous. If you have debt, it creates havoc in your financial life. As far as health is concerned, this sleep debt is very dangerous as far as the health is concerned. Few years back, there was a news in Indian newspaper. There was one corporate leader. He was a CEO of a big company, and he died suddenly at the age of 40 years. And people were very amazed why he died, because he was very health conscious. He used to go to gym. He used to do gym for 1 hour. He was vegetarian. He doesn't consume any alcohol, doesn't consume any cigarette, and he was in a perfect shape. But why he died? And they analyzed, and they found that his quote was, "Sleep is a waste of time," and he used to sleep only 4 hours. Okay, so even if you are eating healthy food, you are having healthy lifestyle, you are doing exercise, you are not having any addiction, if you're sleep deprived chronically, you accumulate this debt, sleep debt, and it goes on your body. Okay, and it comes out in the form of various disease. Okay, so if you sleep less than 7 hours, say 6 hours, 5 hours consistently over a period of time, then it is a recipe for disaster. So what are the symptoms of sleep deprivation? We all know that when on a lecture note, once there was a meeting in a corporate going on, the boss was giving a lectures, and one of the employee was dozing there. So the boss said, "Jack, are you sleeping?" So he used to wake up. "No, who said?" "I'm listening." Then after a few seconds, the boss said, "Jack, are you sleeping?" He said, "No, who is saying? I'm awake." Then third time the boss said, "Okay." He said, "Jack, are you living?" He said, "No, who is saying?" Okay, so this kind of micro sleep occurs when you don't have a nighttime sleep. So during daytime, you are just feeling sleepy, you are drowsy, there's a fogginess, there is mood changes like crankiness and shorter temper. your ability to deal with the stress, to irritation, your threshold decreases. So slightest provocations, you get stressed, you get angry, you have a fight with your colleague, your wife, if you don't have a proper sleep. There's difficulty in concentration and making decision. You can't make proper decision. There may be tremor, shakiness, tense muscle. There may be trouble in seeing and hearing. So these are the symptoms of sleep deprivation. But if you have a chronic sleep deprivation, if you're sleeping for let's say 4 to 5 hours every day over a period of weeks, then it leads to a lot of chronic disorder. The first is obesity. Now, in last session, we have discussed about the causes of obesity like insulin resistance, and then there is a cortisol. It's called as hormonal theory of obesity. Now, why obesity occurs in sleep deprived people? The first thing is, if the people are sleep deprived, the hormone known as ghrelin, the level increases in the body, and this is called as hunger hormones. So if the hormone level increase, ghrelin level increase, you are feeling more hungry. So if you sleep deprived, you are hungry, you eat a lot of stuff. It is also found in the research that if you are sleep deprived, you tend to eat a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of sugars to soothe your irritated brain. So we know that this carbohydrate sugar causes insulin resistance. Then during sleep, if you are sleep deprived, okay, so we know that when our ancestors used to live in a jungle, during night time, they used to go to sleep. It is time to relax. During daytime, they were alert. Their fight and flight response was activated. But after sunset, we are awake till 11, 12 o'clock. But that clock, that circadian clock is fixed millions of years ago. It thinks that if you are awake after sunset, there is some danger. That's why you're awake. Okay. And that's why this fight and flight response is activated. So that's why the hormones which is secreted during this fight and flight response, like adrenaline, noradrenaline, cortisol, is elevated. And if the cortisol is elevated, it produced obesity. Okay. Then your glucose metabolism is decreased. In the research, they have done a research. They sleep deprived 20 years students. They gave them sleep of 4 to 5 hours over a period of 1 week, and they measured their glucose metabolism, means how quickly they can reduce their blood glucose, how quickly the cells take up the blood glucose. And they found that after sleep deprivation, the glucose metabolism is decreased by 40 to 50%, and their glucose metabolism was as bad as that of 68-year-old